Okay, so welcome back, everyone. Today we're going deep on something pretty unique, I think.
Yeah.
It's called the Boogey Chronicles. And
Hmm.
it's basically these journal, right? But it's designed specifically for, like, I guess, logging encounters
Oh,
with
what?
those creatures, the ones that go bump in the night. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah.
we've all been there, right?
Yeah.
Hiding under the covers, scared of, whatever's out there.
Definitely. Definitely.
So this deep dive is going to be fascinating, I think, especially if you're into the unexplained.
Right.
Or, maybe you've had some creepy experiences yourself that you just can't shake. Either way, we're going to explore this journal. And it's not just about, like, writing on scary stories or anything. It's more about, spotting patterns,
Interesting.
trying to understand these creatures, maybe even figuring out how to deal with them. It's kind of
Like a field guide.
yeah, like a field guide to the things that go bump in the night.
Exactly. And what strikes me is how this journal sort of, it blurs the lines, you know?
Oh,
Well, it's both practical, right? It gives you a place to record these encounters,
right.
but it also kind of embraces the unknown, you know? It doesn't shy away from it.
I see what you mean.
So it could be a tool for someone who genuinely believes in, say, monsters under the bed,
Mm-hmm.
or, it could be a way for someone to explore the psychology of fear itself. Just depends on how you approach it, really.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
I'm curious about those protective strategies they mentioned.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Like, what if I'm facing, I don't know, a shadowy figure in my room?
Okay, sure.
What kind of advice could this journal actually offer? What am I supposed to do?
Well, we don't have all the specifics, of course, but
Yeah.
it seems like it emphasizes really meticulous documentation, like really paying attention to the details.
Okay, so like what kind of detail?
Well, the time of the encounter, obviously, the location, any sensory details you can remember.
Should be details, okay.
Yeah, like were there any specific smells, sounds, anything unusual?
So by tracking all of this,
Right, you
Uh,
might start to see patterns emerge.
exactly. Maybe you notice that a specific room in your house is uh, more active than others.
Huh, interesting.
Or, maybe certain sounds always seem to precede these experiences, that sort of thing.
So it's like being a detective
Yes,
investigating a case. But instead of a crime scene, it's like your own fear.
precisely. You're
Yeah.
trying to piece together the clues, figure out what's really going on.
That's a really cool way to think about it.
And, some people might say, well, wouldn't that just make you more scared?
Right. Focusing on these encounters.
Exactly. And for some people, that might be true.
Yeah.
But for others, the act of acknowledging those fears, analyzing them,
Mm-hmm.
it could actually lessen their power.
It's like shining a light on the monster in the closet.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sometimes that's all it takes for it to disappear. Like once
Yeah.
you can see it clearly,
Right.
it's not so scary anymore.
So this journal could also help people figure out, well,
Yeah.
whether their experiences are like real or imagined. Absolutely. Because, sometimes our minds can play tricks on us.
Oh, tell me about it. I once had this sleep paralysis episode.
Really?
Yeah, and it was terrifying. I felt like this shadowy figure was sitting on my chest, couldn't move, couldn't breathe.
Wow.
I could definitely see how documenting something like that could help make sense of it.
Oh, for sure. And that speaks to the real potential of this journal, I think.
Yeah.
It encourages us to actually look at our fears, not just run from them.
Mm-hmm. I like that.
And, there's also a historical and cultural aspect to all of this, too.
Oh, right. Because different cultures.
Exactly. For centuries, different cultures around the world have had their own versions of boogeymen, right?
Yeah, like the Baba Yaga in Slavic folklore.
Yes. Or the banshee in Irish tradition.
Ooh, spooky.
And these figures, they often embody societal anxieties or serve as cautionary tales.
So it's like these figures represent our deepest fears,
Right.
but in a tangible form.
Mm-hmm.
And if we can understand their origins, the stories behind them, maybe we can understand our own fears better too.
Precisely. It's all connected. And who knows, maybe this journal could lead to some surprising discoveries.
Like what?
Well, imagine finding out that a certain type of boogeyman is repelled by, say, the scent of lavender.
Okay, that would definitely make bedtime routines more interesting.
Right.
So let's say you're in an antique shop,
Right.
and you stumble upon a worn copy of the Boogey Chronicles.
Okay.
Would you be brave enough to open it? To peek into someone else's documented nightmares? I know I'd be tempted.
Yeah, me too.
It really makes you think about the power of fear, and how we try to make sense of it. It's fascinating.
Absolutely.
All right, well, that about wraps things up for us today.
Thanks for having me.
Of course. And for everyone listening at home, keep those lights on tonight and sleep tight.
Hee hee.
Until next time.
See you then.